Um, in a very last minute change of events, I am now running the 2024 New York City Marathon with the Beyond Type 1 team. Yeah. So I've been dying to take part in this event ever since I learned about it. I think it's incredible that Beyond Type 1, this nonprofit for diabetes, takes diabetics and caretakers and educators and gives them an opportunity to do something incredible, like running a marathon, for not only themselves, but to prove that diabetes doesn't have to hold you back. I just think it's incredible. Problem is, the marathon is November 3rd, which is now less than 2 months away, and I just found out about this. Let me give you a flashback to last week. Okay, so I'm sitting here. It's Tuesday, August 27th. It's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm looking at my email, and I see this email from Tiana Cooks. To be fair, don't know who she is. And the subject line says, Beyond Type Run 2024, welcome to the team. And I'm like, oh, this is great. It's like a publicity email for the Beyond Type Run team. They're welcoming us all to the team because we're all a part of this. No. I click into this email, and straight up, the first few lines, it tells me that there's a bunch of runners that have dropped out. They have openings, and they want to welcome me to the literal team that is running the marathon. I have no idea what to do. It's August 27th. It's basically September. The marathon is November 3rd. That's like 2 months. I've been training a little bit. I know what I'm doing. I did it last year twice. So I could do it, but there's the fundraising, there's the travel expenses. This is nuts. So yeah, I'm on the team. But there's a lot of things that need to happen before I cross the start line in New York. There's money to pay for traveling and the hotel and food and fun and expenses. And then there's the fundraising that Beyond Type 1 requires in order to be part of the event. But first things first, I need to train. Last year, I ran my first ever marathon and a 50K ultra, which went really well. But I had 8 months of solid training for those. Now I have 2. 2 months. 2 months. So naturally, I asked the all-knowing internet if I could train for a marathon in 2 months. It wasn't helpful. At all. But I was told not to trust everything you see on the internet, which is why I am literally right now going to show you how I would train for a marathon as a type 1 diabetic with 7 weeks to train. Let's do this. Okay, so I wasn't kidding. I want to take all of you through how I would go about planning my training for the next 7 weeks leading up to this marathon. And I hope this is helpful. I know it always helps me to visualize it and see kind of a checklist of week 1, here's how many miles I need to get. Here's how I can divvy it up through the week with my other workouts and with work and all the activities we've got going on. But the nice thing is I actually signed up to run another marathon in December. So I was already starting to train, but I had planned to get my mileage started base, kind of bring my mileage up a little bit. But now that another marathon is in November, I am expediting my entire process and figured I should just kind of redo it all. So this week I will probably run at least 17 miles. So I'm not starting from scratch, which is really nice in terms of the fact that I only have 7 weeks to train for this. But let's assume that I've got this week, which is not week 1, this is week 0. I've got 17 miles. The cool thing about running is that there's some science behind the concept of weekly mileage, and using that as kind of your gauge of running fitness. And that's something I did a lot last year with my training. I really liked it. I feel like it gives you enough wiggle room so that if you do miss a run on a Thursday, you don't have to beat yourself up that you just messed up your whole training regimen. You can make that run up Friday, Saturday, and as long as you hit your weekly mileage with some give or take, you're going to be doing pretty good. So I like that in the way that it allows you to go easy on yourself, but also have some quantitative numbers that you're hitting. So I forgot what this is, but how much can you up your weekly running mileage? How do you spell mileage? Don't increase your weekly mileage by more than 10% every week. Oh boy. Okay. And then, okay, so I'm going to make a note of that. No more than 10% every week. And then I wanted to ask, how many miles a week should I run to train for a marathon? 42, oh, this is Reddit. 90 to 140 miles a week. Whew. I think my highest mileage month last year was like 130 something. 40 miles per week. I don't know if any of these are helpful. How many miles a week should I be able to run for a marathon? Is that maybe? Should I be able to run for a marathon? Most plans will bring you up to running at least 30 to 35 miles per week as a beginner, closer to 40 to 50 miles per week. Also, where did I read 140 miles a week? That's professionals? Do they really run that much? That's insane. That's like a marathon a day. More. That's more, well, depending on how many days you run. That's nuts. That's crazy. Okay, well, sorry, I'm getting off. All right, so let's aim, we're at 17. I would love to be in that 40 to 45 mile a week range. Let's see if we can get there. Because the way I see it is if I have that target number at the end, I can work backwards. But right now I have my starting point of 17, and I have this ceiling where I can only increase 10% every week. So unfortunately, my little 17 miles, 10% of that is 1.7. So, oh man, I think I can up it. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna work this out. Okay, sorry, I just made a table and you didn't need to watch me make a table in Canva. But the way I see it is I can work backwards. So week 1 will be next week, and then week 7 will technically be the week before the marathon. So I run it November 3rd. The week before that will be October 20 something. That's a word. And normally the last week before the marathon, I don't really want to be running that much. It's going to be kind of a deload week. I'll do a few shakeout runs. I know they have some planned in New York with the Beyond Type Run team. But as for right now, I need to work through this so I can gauge, okay, if I'm running 17 miles this week, next week, week 1, I need to run this many and then go up from there. So I'm just going to play around with some numbers because I do think I haven't hit my limit, but let's just take it slow. So technically 10% of 17 is 1.7, but oh man, that's tough. I'm going to increase it by 3 miles. So this is 20 miles, and then 10% of 20 is 2, obviously, but what if we go up another 3? And then another, so that's 2.3. Now we're closer to 3. That's another 3. That's 29. Now we're at 3, so 32, 35, and the last week would be like 39. So that gets me to 40 miles a week, which I'm okay with. I like that kind of option. I would love to be running a little bit more than that. But assuming I'm running 4 days a week, and let's just pick a random week. So 32 miles in a week. If I'm running 4 days or 4 times during that week, it's going to be 8 miles a run, or I could do a 4, 8, 4, 16. I can divide it up because I like having longer runs to test fuel, and just getting my body used to running for 2.5 hours, so that when the marathon comes, my body's conditioned to take that kind of beating. So I honestly don't hate these numbers. I do think that maybe I could be slightly more. Oh man, that's tough. This is where 7 weeks just really is kind of scary to me. I think I'm okay in terms of injury, and I know this no more than 10% of every week is probably a little conservative, or maybe it's a generalization for everybody who's training for a marathon. I'm still decently young and healthy and don't have joint problems, and I'm sure I will after this, but anyway, so I think I can up that 10% for those first few weeks, which I'll be doing, and then kind of be at the 10% by the end. So this is one option. Can I copy this whole thing? I can. Beautiful. But let's run option 2, which will be slightly more aggressive. And we'll stick with 20, but then I'll go up 4 and then up 3 and then up 3 and then up 4 and then up 3 and then up 4. It gets me to 41. And again, with me doing all this, I don't want everyone to think that like, oh wow, between your 2 programs, week 7 has 39 miles for the last week 7 has 41. It's probably not the biggest deal, but I know that as I'm training and as I'm increasing these mileages and going for these longer runs, I really do want to get my body prepped for those long runs. And so that increase in mileage helps me to do that. I also want to make sure that everybody knows my marathon last year, I raced it. Like I trained for and raced to get a specific time. I wanted to get sub 3:30. I got it. This year, I don't think I'll be, I don't deserve sub 3:30. I'm just going to run and soak in the environment and be there and support a great cause, and bring you all along with me. Like this is very much a social marathon for me, if you can even say that. So I'm not going to be super stingent about pacing and trying to hit certain time limits with all these runs. I'm just trying to get in shape so that I can do this and not suffer through it as much as I did my first marathon. But I do like the look of these programs. And so I'm going to do this program right here. I'm going to run with the slightly more aggressive mileage model. And we'll see how it goes. But week 1 next week, I've got 20 miles. So I'm running 3 times a week right now, and maybe I'll up it to 4 on the next week. So I'm going to do a 5 mile, and then a 10 mile for my long run. That's going to be the longest long run I have. And then 24, I'm going to drop it I'm going to increase the frequency of my run. So I'll be running 4 times a week. And I'll do, oh man, if I do I could do 6s, or I could do, oh man. Yeah, I actually don't mind 6s. I don't know if that's kosher, but I'm jumping up. My long run for this week is going to be like 8 or 9 miles. And then next week I have a 10-mile run. And so maybe I need to give my body a break on the long run. And so maybe these 6s will just be good intervals. I won't sprint anything. It'll just be 6 consistently for 4 days. And then this week 3, I'll get into a really good long run. Maybe I could do a 12-miler. So 27 minus 12 is 15. So I need to split up 15 by 3. I could do 5. Let's do a 6, a 5, and a 4. And then a 15. Or a 12, sorry. Because that's right, yeah? So 10, 27, beautiful. And again, I am not a professional. Full transparency, I've programmed a lot of workouts in my life. I've programmed a lot of training regimens, most of them weightlifting. And I still will be lifting weights throughout this training. My weightlifting frequency will decrease as the mileage gets higher, just because of the wear and tear on my body. But in these early weeks, I'm going to keep my weight training kind of consistent with 4 times a week, and then running is going to take priority. I'll run the marathon, and then weightlifting will come back, and then I'll run the next marathon. So it's going to be a party. But let me keep running through these. So week 4, 30 miles. I wonder if I could do a half. Yeah, let's do a half, or maybe a 14-miler for the long run. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so 14-mile long run, so that's 30 minus 14 is 16. So I need 16 divided by 3. I could do, oh man. I feel like that 6-mile range is just so good. So I could do a 6. I could do 6, 6, 4. And you can kind of see with these 2 weeks, I kind of have like a longer run Monday because my body, I don't work out on Sundays. And so my body's refreshed on Monday so I can handle a little bit more mileage, and then I'll decrease. And then that long run will be end of the week, Friday or Saturday. And I really like that model. 34 miles, I could do an 8, 8, 8, 10. Does that work? Yeah, 8, 8, 8, 10. Because again, I'm going to be increasing my long runs. And I think I need to hit 18. I think they recommend running an 18-miler before you run a marathon. And I'm not super worried about it, but I might jump up to that this on week 6. Should I do that? 8, 8, 8, 10. So 37. If I do what if I do a 17? No, I feel like I need to do that big long run this week. And then the next week I can kind of take it easier, even though my mileage is still up. Yeah, okay. I like that. So let's do 18. So 37 minus 18 is 19 divided by 3. This is a lot of math. We're looking at 6.5. But let's do an 8. And then oh man. Because I'm trying to get to 19. If I do an 8, a 5, and a 6 or an 865. Let's do 865. So I'm rested for that long run. And then this 41 divided by 4, that's like 4 tens. That's crazy. So what if I do, I'm going to need a somewhat shorter run. I'll keep it at 6. And then I'm going to need some longer runs there. So that's 17. And then if I do another 6, that's, oh gosh, what is that, 23? Oh no, that's still a way long run. 29, and then I don't think that adds up. Hold on. No, it's still too short. Let's bring that up to 7 and bring this up to 10. And actually, maybe I need to run 5 days that week. Those are long runs. Shoot. Maybe for week 6 and 7, I'll run 5 days a week. Because week 5 is going to be hard. Yeah, maybe even week 5 I drop it. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Changing my plan. I'm going to start running 5 days a week on week 5. And the way I normally do it is, oh gosh, I do Monday morning, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night, Thursday night, and then Friday or Saturday I do my long run, because I like to have that much rest time between them. So yeah, let's do that. And I'm going to space out those 4s. And actually, I'm going to switch these. Okay, and then I'm going to do, holy cow, that's so many miles. 7, I had 11 here, right? How can I do this? Like I'm gonna have to do like 2 7s. 7, 6, 8, and then I'll take this down. So hold on. That's 13, 21, 34, and then I need 7. Yeah, I think I can swing that. All right, let's do 7, 8, 8, 6, 13. Okay. This is crazy, but walking through this, week 1, we're getting 20 weekly miles. I'm doing a 5, 5, 10. It's 3 times a week. Week 2, I jump it to 4 runs, doing 4 6s. Week 3, 6, 5, 4, 12. Week 4, 6, 6, 4, 14. Week 5, 34, 8, 4, 4, 8. So 16, 16. Wait, is that too many miles? Hold on. 12, 24. No, that's right. Sorry. And then 37 for week 6, 10, 9, 19 plus 18. There it is with my long run. And then 7, 8, 8, 6, 13. I feel good about that. It's definitely doable. Increasing that frequency to 5 times a week looks really good. I just need to make sure I'm on top of recovery. But yeah, I think I can do that. We did break the 10% rule for these first few weeks. But my body's feeling good right now. If I need to, I will change this in a heartbeat if I feel like my body can't handle it. Me staying healthy is of number one concern, and I want to make sure I'm not injured or, have plantar fasciitis or tendonitis or something that impacts me running this. That would be really unfortunate. So I like this, and then this will give me week 8 as kind of a deload. And I feel like I structured some of these to be a little less hard on my body in terms of lower mileage but more frequency, lower mileage, more frequency, and then long runs, but we shorten the mileage of those other runs. So I feel good about it. This is how I would go about it if I were training for any other marathon. Hopefully, if you're doing the same thing, you have more weeks to do it. But another thing that's going to change, and this is specific to diabetics, is your insulin numbers are going to change throughout this running program. As you get in better shape, I feel like your body just metabolizes things better. And so your basal insulin doses as well as your fast-acting boluses are going to change. That's something I notice every time I start running more or get into better cardiovascular shape, is my insulin doses absolutely need changing. So that's one thing you'll notice. And then also, as you're on those long runs, and whether you're doing them in the morning or at night, you'll have different amounts of carbs and fuel on board as well as with you that you're carrying. And so it's going to be interesting for, even the long run this week, 8 or 9 miles, I'm going to need to take probably 2 packets of carbs and take those at 30-minute increments just to make sure my blood sugar stays in a healthy range, as well as hydration. All those things can impact your blood sugar and are necessary for type 1 diabetics to run. So there's the numbers. This is honestly like the easy part, but actually going out and doing it, as well as making sure that you're healthy and staying on top of your blood sugars is another thing that's really important. So anyway, this is the training I'll roll with. I'll keep everybody posted, and I'm excited. This is crazy. It really is, but I'm so grateful to be a part of the team. I'm excited for the actual run itself and the environment and how big the New York Marathon is. It's just going to be really exciting. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I always wish I could see the people that I follow break down their goals and training, and some of them do, and I find it really helpful. So hopefully this is helpful for you, especially if you're a type 1 diabetic. As always, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments below. I will answer any and all of them. And I'm really excited for this marathon. I know 7 weeks is a tight window to train, but this is such a cool opportunity, and I'm excited to be a part of something a lot bigger than just myself. With that, my next video is going to be on how I'm affording this. I know the economy's in a weird spot right now. Money tends to be a little tight for a lot of people. And so the flights out, the hotels, the fundraising, that's minimum like $3,500. I want to get into how I'm planning to pay all that. And so I'm really excited to get into that with everybody and show you some of my ideas. But until then, as always, keep going one by one.